Tonight, in our coverage, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows revenge after Hamas mistakenly returns the wrong body in a ceasefire exchange. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Elia Batul. A new provincial committee has begun work to remove systemic barriers that make access to government programs challenging for racialized people in British Columbia. The Provincial Committee on Anti-Racism held its first meeting in Vancouver on February 19th and 20th and will continue meeting throughout the year. The committee is chaired by Hassan Alam, a lawyer with the British Columbia's General Employee Union. It includes 10 anti-racism advocates selected through a public application process. This new committee will use the government's anti-racism data to drive policy changes, develop anti-racism training standards, and consult with racialized communities. Additional responsibilities include providing input on public education and awareness strategies. Indigenous perspectives will be incorporated through government-to-government consultation with First Nations, the First Nations Leadership Council, the Alliance of Modern Treaty Nations, and Métis Nation, British Columbia. The National Council of Canadian Muslims welcomes the move. It says with Islamophobia and hate crimes on the rise in British Columbia, the initiative is a critical step towards creating a more equitable province. A Toronto couple has been charged with defrauding hundreds of Canadians out of millions. The couple was arrested Wednesday and remain in custody. Canadian police say the suspects, aged 29 and 31, used a spoofing website to disguise phone numbers. They posed as bank, government, or police officials to trick victims into handing over money. The couple allegedly ran large-scale phishing and smishing scams. Police have seized electronic devices and other evidence while searching their home. At least 570 people have been scammed by the suspects. The accused face multiple charges, including fraud, unauthorized computer use, and money laundering. The arrests follow a global cybercrime investigation, Operation Elaborate, involving police from the UK, Netherlands, and Europol. Police say nearly every major bank in Canada has been affected. They urge the public to stay vigilant against spoofing scams, which criminals use to impersonate trusted organizations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has ordered intensified military operations in the occupied West Bank after explosions rocked 3 empty buses near Tel Aviv. No injuries have been reported. Israeli special forces raided Bal'a, east of Tulkarem at dawn, surrounding a house and demanding surrender. Palestinian man Ahmed Awad was killed when an Israeli military vehicle crashed into his car. In Tulkarem refugee camp, bulldozers demolished over 14 homes in 2 days. Israeli troops have taken over residential buildings, turning them into military outposts. Reports say Israeli forces burnt vehicles and destroyed homes and shops at Al-Manshia. Raids continue in Nur Shams camp, where homes have been ransacked, residents interrogated, and multiple arrests made. Israeli forces reportedly plan to build a new road at the cost of Palestinian residents. Meanwhile, Israeli warplanes struck sites along the Syria-Lebanon border, accusing Hezbollah of smuggling weapons. Palestinian Health Ministry has updated the death toll to at least 61,709 civilians. The new toll includes thousands of Palestinians buried under the rubble and presumed dead. More than 111,000 have been injured. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has pledged revenge today after Hamas mistakenly released the wrong body instead of an Israeli mother of 2. Netanyahu is calling Hamas's actions a cruel and malicious violation of the ceasefire. This comes as the Israeli military says Hamas has returned the bodies of infant Kifr Bibas and his 4-year-old brother Ariel. However, the military says the third body is not their mother's, Shiri Bibas. The bodies were handed over yesterday as part of a Gaza truce agreement brokered by the US, Qatar, and Egypt. The Red Cross transported 4 coffins from Gaza into Israel. Forensic tests could not identify the body of the mother. The military is demanding Hamas return Shiri Bibas's remains along with the remaining hostages. In a statement released today, Hamas says a mix-up may have occurred after Israeli airstrikes hit areas where both Israeli hostages and Palestinians were located. The group vows to conduct a thorough review of the situation. The Bibas family was among those taken as prisoner during Hamas's October 7th attack on Israeli-occupied territories. Hamas previously claimed that Shiri and her children were killed in an Israeli airstrike. Israeli authorities never confirmed their deaths. The incident has cast fresh doubts on the fragile ceasefire, which has temporarily paused over 15 months of war. Arab leaders are meeting in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia to discuss a strategy to counter U.S. President Donald Trump's proposal for reconstruction. Trump's plan, which suggests U.S. control of Gaza and the expulsion of its 2.4 million residents to neighboring Egypt and Jordan, has received global condemnation. Saudi media reports Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman has invited leaders from Gulf Arab states, Egypt, and Jordan for the talks. The meeting reflects a rare moment of unity among Arab states in opposition to Trump's plan, though disagreements remain over who should govern Gaza and how to finance its reconstruction. The discussion comes ahead of an emergency Arab summit on March 4th in Egypt. In this meeting, the region's leaders are set to deliberate on a broader response to the Israeli-Palestinian crisis. A Saudi security source has confirmed that the Riyadh meeting would review a version of the Egyptian proposal. Rebuilding Gaza is expected to be a central issue, with Trump citing reconstruction as a justification for relocating the population. Cairo has yet to formally announce its initiative, but an Egyptian former diplomat outlined a plan that would unfold in 3 phases over 3 to 5 years. The United Nations estimates that rebuilding Gaza will cost over $53 billion, with more than $20 billion needed in the first 3 years. A new report by Tell Mama, anti-Muslim hate crimes in the United Kingdom have surged to a record high. Tell Mama is a UK-based organization that monitors, records, and supports victims of anti-Muslim hate crimes and Islamophobia. The report shows there have been over 5,837 verified incidents last year, more than double the number reported 2 years ago. The rise is linked to misinformation following the Southport murders and Israel's assault in Gaza. For the first time since 2012, more men than women were targeted. Most attacks occurred in public spaces, including streets and parks. Offline incidents increased by 72%, with sharp rises in abuse, assault, and vandalism. Online hate also spiked, particularly on social media after the Southport murders. Tell Mama's director is calling urgent government action, warning that harmful stereotypes are fueling division. Advocates are urging the public to stand against Islamophobia and extremism. They warn that unchecked hate speech online and offline is deepening divisions in society. The UK government describes the findings as extremely concerning and vows to combat anti-Muslim hate. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau took a swipe at U.S. President Donald Trump after Canada's 3-2 overtime victory yesterday against the United States in the Four Nations face-off. Following the win, Trudeau posted on X, "You can't take our country, and you can't take our game." The tournament featured National Hockey League stars from Canada, Finland, Sweden, and the U.S. The final matchup followed a heated February 15th game where the U.S. beat Canada 3-1. The victory came after several fights broke out in the opening seconds. When asked about Trudeau's comments on Friday, Trump congratulated Canada on Fox News. Trump said, "We won the first game. The second game was a great game. Could have gone either way." He then said, "Justin's a loser. Always has been." And now, as we head towards the blessed month of Ramadan 2025, we are introducing a new segment to keep you updated on events happening in your city, called Ramadan Events Save this Date. On February 23rd, the Ramadan Revival Conference brings an unforgettable experience to the Palacio Event Center in Mississauga. The event features renowned speakers and engaging activities. One lucky attendee will get a chance to win a free trip to Umrah. You can purchase tickets on dawanet.ca. On the same day and venue, Muslim Network TV will be conducting auditions for hosts and reporters. To join our dynamic team, you can drop in for a quick audition from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetwork.tv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV.